TJ Watt has experienced an injury, ladies and gentlemen. It is a lung injury. He experienced it at the practice facility while receiving treatment. Man, this is bad news, man. This is bad news, man. Come on now. We just beat the Ravens. You know, we was looking to like go on some kind of run to finish out the season. And man, it's just, oh man. This is not the news that you want to receive after beating the Ravens, man. Like everything was up. Everything was up. Everything was up. But nonetheless, TJ Watt has experienced an injury, and we want to just kind of dive into what we know, which isn't much. We just know he experienced that injury from the training staff. Like, you know, he was experiencing some discomfort with his lungs, and yeah, you know, man, this is devastating news. This is not what you want to hear following a big win from a division rival, you know, be it the Baltimore Ravens, man. So yeah, I kind of want to get into this article from StillerNation.com. Shout out to Justin. They always got, you know, everything popping over there. He said the Pittsburgh Steelers have had an up and down year, yet the team is still positioned to win the AFC North and clinch a spot in the postseason. Man, things are shaping up perfectly for Pittsburgh after the win with the Baltimore Ravens in Week 14. That gave the Steelers the lead in the division, and the group now controls its own destiny moving forward in 2025. The Steelers must continue to play complementary football, but that could be hard to do as outside linebacker TJ Watt is now questionable for Pittsburgh's clash with the Dolphins in Week 15. And we're on the low end, we're talking about Week 15, but on the high end, you know, I'm hearing rumors that he could miss the rest of the season, man. He could miss the rest of the season, man. And that is not what you want to hear. I mean, and you know, here it is, nail on the head, man. TJ hasn't missed a game all season, bro. All season, man. And now, granted, he might not have had the stats that everybody wanted him to have, but he's been available. The best ability is availability. And he's been that. You know, like, and, you know, even though TJ Watt hasn't had the stats that we all were looking for, I mean, it's not like the defense has suffered. You know, usually, you know, we talk about your star players not doing X, Y, and Z. The team suffers. The team isn't suffering because guys are benefiting from TJ Watt being on the field. Just for him being on the field, teams got a scheme for him. Teams have to know where he is at all times. But yeah, Watt has not missed a game in 2025, but now that can change now as he is questionable ahead of the game against the Dolphins, the Monday night game against the Dolphins. You know, and TJ Watt told Big Ben, yeah, Big Ben was like, hey man, what you prefer, Sunday night football or Monday night football? And TJ was like, hey, I like Monday night football. In fact, his words was Monday night, baby. And it was funny, you know what I'm saying? He had the Batman memes and all this other stuff. Man, this sucks. His injury is being reported as a lung issue, and the star defender was taken to the hospital on Wednesday from the team's facility after experiencing discomfort in his lung. This is clearly a serious issue. And it appears to stem from receiving treatment at the facility. Man, how could you drop the ball like this, man? You know, usually we complain about like other teams and, you know what I'm saying, like the condition of the field and stuff like that. Man, you don't ever want to hear, you know what I'm saying, your own player, your star player, one of your highest paid players, if not the highest paid player, missing games at a critical point in the season because the team messed up. The team's own training staff messed up. Whew. And in fact, it's serious. Anytime you need to be hospitalized, that's serious in itself. If you, man, if you know, you know what I'm saying? Like if you had relatives and things like that, that have had to, go down that road type thing, anytime you need to be, you know what I'm saying, hospitalized, that's serious. That means they want to keep an eye on you 24/7. They ain't got time for you to go home and, I'll come. And you gotta wait. You gotta sit at red lights and wait for an ambulance to come get you, and the ambulance can't. They ain't got time for none of that. They just want to be. They want you to be right there, so they can help you immediately. Whew. The specifics about the lung issue have not been reported yet, but the outside linebacker is at the hospital going through treatment as mentioned. It is unclear what has happened. It is unclear what was happening at the team facility to lead to the issue, but the defender was getting some sort of treatment from the training staff on Wednesday that went wrong. Whenever a fan of the NFL hears about a player going through a lung issue, it's hard not to think about quarterback Tyrod Taylor, which is true. A lot of people was trying to figure out what happened to Tyrod Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was done dirty is what happened to Tyrod Taylor. And the unfortunate situation he had with the Los Angeles Chargers, Taylor was warming up prior to the Chargers Week 2 game during the 2020 season, and he suffered a rib injury. The quarterback was then being administered a painkiller injection before the game when his lung was punctured. This forced him to miss a few weeks, and he also lost his starting job to Justin Herbert because of the issue. Now, granted, we know Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert, and he was going to lose that job anyway. He just wouldn't have lost it in that moment. This was a big deal at the time, and it is not confirmed that this is what happened with Watt. Watt's injury could be something stemming from Sunday's game, or it could be the same situation. Either way, Taylor attempted to sue the team doctor that administered the shot, as he claimed he suffered extreme physical pain, lost wages, and lost his starting job, affecting his free agency the following season, which is all true. The outcome of the case is unknown, as it could still be ongoing. Watt could certainly follow in Taylor's footsteps if this is the same kind of situation. Although the two players are in two very different spots, Watt just signed a big deal, and an injury shouldn't affect him too much financially. However, this is possibly a grave mistake that cannot happen, and it is a complete embarrassment for the organization if Watt's situation is similar to Taylor's. It's an embarrassment, man. Your team, man, you can't take out your own guys. That's a self-inflicted wound. And even though TJ Watt signed his deal, he can still have the same argument that down the road, this still might affect him and his ability to make money. This could affect him and his playing ability and his years that he might have left to play. You know what I mean? Like, I remember Taylor missed a couple weeks behind that. And like they said, in missing those weeks, he lost his job basically to Justin Herbert. Bottom line, if this is a similar situation, TJ Watt is guaranteed to not play Monday night. He's not going to play Monday night because, I mean, if you have a punctured lung, this is stuff that we kind of trying to, shift through everything and figure things out until the team releases a statement. But yeah, man, that's a serious thing, especially to have to be hospitalized. It wasn't like they prescribed him a medicine or they gave him a shot, sent him home, and said, hey, just pay attention to these things in the next 24 hours and you should be good. Nah, they's like, nah, we're going to keep you here so we can keep eyes on you, so we can have our staff hit you, treat you immediately. Whew. Man, this is not good. The Steelers could be missing TJ Watt. Taylor missed 4 weeks when his lung was punctured by the Chargers training staff, which is not good news for Pittsburgh Steelers fans. If that is also what happened to Watt, there are only 4 weeks left in the season. So going back to what I said, the rumors were he could miss the rest of the regular season, which is true. You know, if it's a similar type injury, and Taylor had to miss 4 weeks, you know, TJ might miss 4 weeks also. And yeah, I mean, that last week with the Ravens, let's say we do our thing with the Dolphins, with the Lions and the Browns. All right, that last week with the Ravens don't mean nothing, and so we could potentially have him for the postseason. But still, man, like you want to have your best players on the field. This is money time. This is money time. This is when you want to get hot. You know what I'm saying? This is like, you know, positioning yourself for the playoffs. This is when you want your guys so you can get hot and make a run. I just don't want TJ to rush himself back and further hurt himself in the long run. You know what I mean? Because I do believe TJ's a fighter, and TJ will do everything he can to be on that field. But I just don't want him to rush it, especially if we're winning games. If we're winning games, I'll take it. So yeah. What we got? There are only 4 weeks left in the regular season, and the Steelers have little chance of securing a bye in the playoffs. They would need to win out. And technically, we don't need to win out. If we go 2-2, and let's say the Ravens, you know, miss a game or two, you know what I'm saying? We have a 1-game lead, and at that point, we're going to start looking at tiebreakers, which we own for the most part, especially if we're talking about division play. If we win our division, it's a wrap. If the injury to Watt is similar to Taylor's, let me back up. They would need to win out and have multiple other AFC teams lose in certain contests through Week 18. If the injury to Watt is similar to Taylor's, fans might not be able to see the star defender again during the 2025 season. Ah, man. I hate even reading that. Hopefully Watt's injury is something different, as the outside linebacker will be able to return to the field in the near future. But lung injuries are nothing to play around with. And you know, when I first heard it, I was thinking that he got, because when you breathing in cold air, if you running and if you ever played sports or anything like that, and you're running and you're taking deep gasp of air going through your lungs, you know, people have gotten frostbite and stuff like that. But if the air is too cold, so you know, that's the first thing that went through my mind. I wasn't thinking of the team training staff injured him. Like, wow. But lung injuries are nothing to play around with. Watt and the team must prioritize his health and well-being, and I agree with that. That's why I already said that, man. I was like, hey, big dog. Hey, yo, shout out to Steeler Nation. Shout out to SteelerNation.com, man. They doing their thing, bro. Also, SteelerNation.com, you can hit them up for terrible tailgate and that sort of thing. But yeah, they always got the news popping, man. They always got stuff going through. Definitely check out their website, get them some traffic. But yeah, man, this is not what any of us wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? Going into this matchup with the Dolphins, this sucks. This 1000% sucks, man. I'm hoping it's not as bad as they're saying. I'm really hoping it's not as bad as they're saying. But who knows, man? I'm gonna keep my ears peeled out, see if there's any updates and things like that. But yeah, this is disappointing to hear, and I'll check back in with y'all, and you know, provide whatever updates I can provide, and that sort of thing. So y'all stay up, man. Keep your head up. You know, I'm believing it's not as bad as we're thinking. But I do want TJ to prioritize his health. That's more important. I think we got guys that can step up temporarily and help. You know, Herbig, stepped up big when we was missing Highsmith, and Highsmith got his name when TJ was out, and that's how we all knew Highsmith to be Highsmith. When TJ was out, Highsmith stepped up and did TJ things, and not to say we didn't need TJ, but you need more than one guy. You need a unit. And so Herbig, he's gonna have to step up. I know both of them are Badgers. They went to Wisconsin. They're best friends of sorts. They train together in the off season. I mean, they have great chemistry. We're gonna need it looks like we're gonna need a monster game from Nick Herbig. We're gonna need a monster game from Nick Herbig, man. That's just what it is. And then you got Jack Sawyer there too. Jack Sawyer's been doing this thing as well. So, I have faith in the guys. In other news, this might help us if people starting to believe that, oh man, that Vegas stuff, like we were favored to win this game. Well, if TJ's out, I guarantee you we're not favored to win this game. And so that's a good look for us. You know what I'm saying? Anytime we're underdogs, hey man, I will take that any day because we play so much better. I think guys give maximum effort when we are viewed as underdogs. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna check back in with y'all later. Y'all, have a good day, and I'm gonna holler at you. Peace.
Booming in the evening, booming in the morning, 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 booming in the evening, booming in the morning.